My wife and I were married for only a year and some months before we divorced. Bella and I met at a restaurant where I had gone to have dinner one evening. She was sitting at a table alone while waiting for her plus one who never showed up, and I thought of keeping her company, though she wasn't in her best mood. When we met, we had a nice conversation. After weeks of occasionally talking on Facebook, we had our first date, and everything from there was happily ever after. We married after a year of dating, and I earnestly believed Bella would be the last woman I would date. I was tired of going through the cycle of talking with different women who would cheat on me. We were almost like the perfect couple, and there was absolutely nothing wrong in our relationship. We treated each other with love and respected each other. Bella and I were both hardworking, and I loved her because she was career-focused and did everything she could to earn more. Unlike Bella, who is a full-time remote worker, I only stayed home on my day off, and I barely took days off because something always came up at work. My work demanded that I travel from place to place to work for our clients. Even with my busy schedule, I did my best to spend time with Bella. I had great plans for us, and with her collaboration, I knew we could have a beautiful and memorable future if I continued working so hard. Most of the time, I wasn't so pleased with my busy schedule because I missed spending time with Bella, and I didn't like it when she complained about my absence. Too much to make up for always being away, I would buy her beautiful gifts and have flowers sent to her at home. Also, I didn't wait for us to have special occasions before I took her to a fancy dinner or a mini vacation. The sweet thing about Bella was she always knew how to reciprocate or make me feel loved too. There was a time when I returned from a week of working in another state, and Bella paid for a massage session and gifted me the latest release of Jordan sneakers. Aside from that gift, she cooked special meals, set up her home table for romantic dinners, and did other things. Because of Bella, I always looked forward to going home. But one day, I went home without informing her in advance, and our marriage took a different direction after that day. Usually, each time I returned from a trip out of town, I tell Bella in advance so she could prepare for me or cook something. But that day, I dropped by her favorite restaurant and grabbed some takeout for us and a bottle of red wine. I wanted to be a pleasant surprise for her, but I ended up being the surprised one. When I got to our house, I pulled over in the driveway as usual and walked into the house with the stuff I got. As soon as I entered, I knew something was wrong. Bella was half-dressed, flustered, and sweaty, the kind of sweat that shows she was doing very hard labor. She was already acting all edgy, and when I asked her what was wrong, she said she acted that way because she was surprised to see me, and she was sweaty and almost half-naked because of the summer sun. That felt very suspicious, but I almost believed her lie because it didn't even cross my mind that she could bring her affair partner to our house. As we were conversing about my trip and how I had to come home earlier than expected, I heard our backyard sensor go off. I wanted to look at the security cameras to see what was happening, but Bella tried to stop me. She said it was probably nothing, and I shouldn't worry because the sensor had gone off 3 times already that day. That was odd coming from Bella because in the past, even if I wanted to sit in front of the computer and look at the security cameras all day, Bella never complained or tried to stop me. So she literally ratted herself out when she tried to stop me from looking at the cameras. I actually ignored her and then looked at the security camera, and I saw our 2 dogs attacking a man in my backyard. I was shocked to see him, and Belle pretended to be surprised. She said he had broken into her house, and she was trying to catch him when I came home. She didn't want to tell me so I wouldn't yell at her for not locking the doors. As much as that lie sounded believable, my gut told me something was wrong. I told her we should call the police, and as soon as I said that, she kicked against the idea. She said we shouldn't get the police involved, or we would have to pay for our dogs attacking the man in the backyard. I was getting mad at this point, so I called the police and reported that someone was trespassing on our property. Shortly after the police arrived, I called the dogs off him, and Belle's affair partner came out of the place he had squeezed himself into. He had sustained injuries and told the police our dogs attacked him. When he said that, I told the police he trespassed on our property, and that's why he got attacked. Belle's affair partner overheard me, and he started shouting that he had come to spend quality time with Belle and that he was with Belle the previous night. It turned out that Bella was having an affair with him, and she met him through the book club she belonged to. When he said that, Bella was horrified. She tried to shut him up in my presence, but the guy kept yelling and said he didn't want to be charged for trespassing when Belle invited him. That wasn't all. His affair with Belle had been going on for a while, and that wasn't his first time sleeping over. After her secret was exposed, Belle was so embarrassed because our nosy neighbors had come out to listen to everything. Words cannot express how I felt when I found that the woman I was planning my forever with was involved with another man in my own house. After the police left, I went inside the house and threw out her stuff. Out of anger, I retrieved most of the things I bought for her and set them ablaze. The neighbors were still there, and they watched as I publicly humiliated her. I threw out our wedding portraits and other things that reminded me of our union. She was even shameless to keep begging me to let her explain. She said she only invited him over so they could read a book together, and nothing was happening between her and her affair partner. I knew they were all lies and didn't listen to her. By the time I was done dumping her stuff outside, she had to call her younger sister to come and pick her up. I also left the house that day to clear my head. I went to my best friend's house, and after I had put myself together, I contacted a divorce lawyer to start preparing our divorce papers. In my life, I had never experienced that level of betrayal. She shattered me completely and destroyed the possibility of me ever loving or trusting a woman again. For nights, the memories haunted me, and the memories took their mental toll on me. Even after we divorced, I was still a shadow of myself, and it took me a long time to heal and forget about her. Even though 2 years have passed, I still feel that the next woman I might end up with will cheat on me again. Because of this, I keep shutting out or hurting every woman that comes my way. Anyway, I know it will take time for me to heal, and until that happens, I will focus more on working and earning more for the comfort of my future. My conclusion for this story. In the aftermath of this painful experience, you've shown incredible strength in facing the betrayal and moving forward. It's clear that healing will take time, but remember that each passing day brings you a step closer to rebuilding your life. It's important to acknowledge the emotions you're feeling and allow yourself the space to grieve, but don't let this unfortunate chapter define your entire story. It's evident you've been through a lot, and it's okay to feel hurt and betrayed. Give yourself the grace to heal at your own pace. Remember, not every person is the same, and not every relationship will end in betrayal. As you focus on your work and future, consider seeking support from friends, family, or even a therapist. Talking about your feelings can be incredibly cathartic. And when you're ready, don't shy away from the possibility of opening up to someone new. Not everyone out there is the same, and you deserve happiness and genuine love. Take your time, trust your instincts, and don't rush the healing process. You got this.